And also note that when you go to the ministry, you are not in your movie industry as you are. Try to be as serious as you can, so that you can be able to assist your minister to succeed. I thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I congratulate the nominee.
You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Audu Moro, and joining us this morning is the former Member of Parliament for the Myong constituency. I'm talking about the Honorable Mohammed Abdul Aziz, who's joined us, obviously representing the ruling NDC. He's taking his seat. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on Good Morning Ghana.
Good morning, my brother, and good to see you.
Good to see you. It's been a while. He's actually my neighbor.
Yes, you're a neighbor. My neighbor that I don't see.
Yeah.
Sometimes
those
I see
days
you
when I'm going on a walk,
yeah,
I see you.
Yeah,
I don't see you.
I used to do the walk to myself almost every evening.
Okay.
I used to, but this time I've turned back to the gym instead.
Oh, okay.
It can be a lot of distractions when you are doing the walk.
Okay.
You have to stop a couple of times to exchange pleasantries.
And you're a very popular man, you know.
Yeah, so sometimes...
I used to think you're only popular in Myong, but I didn't know you're popular in Adenta too.
So I do the gym more this time around. There's a gym around.
Yes. We don't want to mention it because that would amount to giving them free advertisements.
Exactly. So
but I know the gym you're talking
around.
about. Yes,
so
and it's a fairly popular one.
You can come around and we'll have some good time there.
That's very important, and I can trust that once I'm coming there. You, with the kind of popularity and the kind of influence you have, I don't have to bother myself with paying any subscription fee, your registration fee, because
you would pay.
Yes,
just like I paid.
Pro bono. You
would pay just like I paid, but you regret it. I mean, it's good to work out.
Yes,
it's good to work
very
out.
Important.
Yes,
you know,
we are not growing younger.
Put the muscles out so that you're fitter.
Yeah, some people would do the heavy lifting just to build their muscles, but some of us just want to keep fit.
Yeah.
You know, just want to keep fit as a young man. We are not growing younger, and so.
But you know, speaking about keeping fit, there's one thing which has been missing.
Okay.
And I don't know whether it's a case of ignorance, or it is that people know but actually even feel lazy, or don't actually agree that it's important for them to undertake before they start training. You know, the trainers will always tell you, and they will always advise that before you start training at the gym, it's extremely vital and extremely important that you go.
Most people don't. I mean, not everyone is aware.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in Parliament, there's a gym for
you
members.
have a gym in Parliament?
Oh, there's a gym well equipped here.
Gym.
I mean, it was one of the requirements that you come with your medical report. You know.
When you were there, what was the level of patronage?
Oh, it was low. I must admit.
It was very low.
Yes, I remember. I had some few colleagues of mine who were very regular, just like myself in those days. I remember the former MP for Kumbungu, Ras Mubarak, Honorable Alassane Soyini, who usually were quite regular at the gym. And so, for me, it's something I don't take lightly. Unless, of course, I have something very urgent that I would want to do at least 3-4 days in a week. At least 3-4 days in a week. I make sure I hit the gym just to walk on the treadmill, do some small liftings and small biking. Okay. I mean, we're not growing younger.
Right.
And they say eat well, sleep enough, and exercise regularly.
Extremely. In fact, we are 70% what we eat and 30% how we exercise in terms of the kind of physical activity that we engage ourselves in. And so it's extremely important that you
doctors will tell you that eat well,
sleep well, and exercise.
Enough, then exercise regularly.
And leave the rest to Allah.
And leave the rest to Allah. I mean, there are things that you can't control, but those that you can, you should try as much as possible to do. And
that's extremely important. Before I come back to you, let me also say that Ernest Adade has also joined us. And is a very good friend of mine too. I mean, Ernest Adade is a member of the MPP's communications team, and he's also joined us. Ernest, good morning. It's good
morning, Chief.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Very fine.
Anyway,
You wanted me to accuse you, but I didn't.
No, yes. In fact, that's why I'm running away. That's why I'm running away. So I'm running away to go pick up my
I realized you were expecting me to say something.
You know, and in order to avoid that, let me quickly go and pick up my Blue Jeans energy
Please
drink.
go and come.
At least when I feel energized and you even accuse me, I'll be able to embrace and absorb it.
Now that we have all turned a new leaf, we
Yes.
are fine. No
Thank
accusations.
You. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And God will bless you. God will bless you. Anyway, so speaking about being energized and feeling well, we're just talking about exercises and the importance of exercising and the importance of also taking what you eat very, very, what you eat very, very, which is very important. I would once again remind you that the Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years, and we already know what it does for the body. It contains many vitamins and nutrients, and it contains vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and it's been tried. Everybody who takes it says they like it. So I'm sure that one of these days you're going to text me to tell me that you've tasted it and you like it. And so Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. It's in shops nationwide. And so for bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 020-812-8190. 020-812-8190 and 055-001-0000. 055-001-000. So when you're going to the gym, grab some Blue Jeans energy drink, and I'm sure that you'll be in the right mode and the right mood to exercise and exercise well. So, Honorable, back to you again. Is there any green or white letter in the horizon? I mean, as a former member of Parliament, is there anything in the offing? A green or white letter, yes. I'm talking about appointments. I know you're pretending you didn't get it, so let me just cut to the chase. I'm talking about appointments.
Not all appointments would come in the form of a green or white letter,
okay.
But this question keeps on coming. People call it, but that is the
you're getting calls.
That is at the discretion of the president.
No, we know that, but I mean, are you getting calls? Are people calling to ask?
Obviously, people in your constituency, people you work with, friends will call you and stuff like that. But I've always said that the fact that we have a new leader who is committed to resetting this country is enough satisfaction for some of us. Of course, if you get the opportunity to say, why not? But I've never been in a rush for anything. Do your best for today, and tomorrow will take care of itself.
Okay.
It is at the pleasure of His Excellency the President. When he thinks that you can perform a particular role well, he would extend a hand to you. But I don't think that we need to be putting pressure on the appointing authority I don't think so. The president...
But there are still agitations. I mean, I've heard... some of them have personally called and they have complained about how they've done X, Y, Z for the party. The party is still yet to reward them. And then they compare themselves to somebody else who's been given an appointment. And they say they believe that they deserve the appointment much more.
The government is barely about some 2 months old.
Yeah.
Not everybody would be appointed within the first 2 months. And I'm sure President Mahama still has a lot of appointments to do. And so those agitations should cease. Would want to appeal to the rank and file of the party.
Well, once you're appealing to the rank and file of the party, now you can see in your short this is Parliament.
Yes.
And Parliament is getting ready for to receive or to welcome the president for today's State of the Nation address. So you can see. So this is actually live as we're talking to you now. I believe it will start at 10 o'clock, isn't it?
Yes.
10.
Yes, at 10, yes. But I'm sure members should be seated, if I remember what I heard right.
By 9.
Members should be seated by 9 a.m.
By 9 a.m.
Yes, I'm sure by 9:30 or thereabout,
yes.
The president will be arriving within the precincts of Parliament. And by 10, President Mahama, when he says 10, he means 10. By 10 a.m., the program should kickstart.
Okay, that's fine. We'll talk about that anyway. So one of the discussions went because we started yesterday, and we intend to continue today as well. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, you're talking to me about the pressure from the rank and file,
yes,
and how, somebody like
we've seen some constituencies, we've seen some constituencies, either try to demonstrate just to catch the eye of the president for their MP or somebody they think that he has worked for the party. I say it's too early in the day. The government is barely about 2 months now. President Mahama was sworn in on 7th of January. February is ending, and so let's be patient. Those who have the chance to serve should serve and serve well. The rancor should cease. Let's give the president and the ministers the
issue which has come up. We said that some of the guys who have had the opportunity of being appointed are now
well deserving.
Well, okay, that's fine. But the complaints have started about they not answering calls. They're not answering calls.
That is the accusation to every politician. Once, look, you are given a job to do for the government and the state. Yes, you still want to maintain relations, family and friends. You know, you want to pay calls, you want to engage. But you can't also spend all the time just talking on phone. I understand that yes, some people are very sluggish when it comes to responding to calls, especially when they are given some roles to play. That is not a good trend or a good practice as a political figure. Sometimes, even some of us, it happens. We'll call a couple of times, we text. But you see, what I'm saying is that I have time to respond to. I visited an appointee, I don't want to mention his name, and I went there to speak to him about something. He says, look, Honorable Aziz, my policy here is that if you walk into my office and I can't help you, I won't irritate you. And so let us conduct ourselves to reflect the persona, the character of President Mahama. You know, if you look at all the swearing-ins that President Mahama has done, all the ministers that he has sworn in, you know, one statement has been consistent. It's been consistent on one point, that humility. You know, we should see, appointees should see themselves as servants. And so we expect that, yes, those calls or those complaints may be genuine, but we should also understand that those people have been given some roles to play and that they can't spend all their man hours attending to people either on phone or receiving people in their offices. If that was to be the case, then the job for which they were appointed will not be done, and we will not be able to give a good account of our work or of our stewardship at the end of the 4 years. And so let's see how appointees can balance the two, you know, maintaining their personal party relationships and then also doing the work for which they are appointed. I mean, when I was in Parliament, somebody will call you at 1 a.m. and thinks that you should pick the call at 1 a.m. Yes, sometimes there are emergency issues. So if you call me past 11, 12 a.m., if I'm still awake, I will pick. But once I get to know it's not an urgent issue, I'll tell you to wait and let's pick the next day. But sometimes it could be a matter of life and death. Yeah. Maybe the person wants you to make an intervention for him at the hospital for a surgery or to transport a sick person to the hospital at that hour. And so if you don't pick that call at that time, even when you call the person back the next day at 6, 7 a.m., the person would have suffered an irreparable consequences. And so that was my policy. Yes, if you call me and I'm still awake, because most of us will put our phones on silent before you go to bed, because if you don't do that, there's no way you can sleep. The phone will keep on ringing. And so let's see, the main issue is that those accusations, I mean, they are very common within the political class. Appointees should be able to walk a fine balance between doing the job for which they've been appointed to do and also maintaining a good relationship with the base of the party. That is important because at the next elections, we will need the base of the party to come and work and support. And so we must walk a fine balance.
But it's a tight one, isn't it? It's a very tight balance to sort of walk.
Oh, it is.
You know, because like you said, I mean, you want to do the work.
Exactly.
But at the same time, there are people who have put you where you are. And you also have to attend to them.
Exactly.
But then the question that arises is this, that what kind of orientation and training do appointees get before they assume office, in order that they are able to learn the skill of actually attending to the desires and the wishes and the wants of some of the of course you can't attend to everybody, some of the party foot soldiers, but at the same time you being able to do the job, and even when you're able to receive them, what kinds of conversations, I mean, how to even relate to them, because look, if the 2024 election is anything to go by, you can tell quite clearly that the NPP suffered massive apathy in their stronghold. But the party will tell you that, well, we didn't think that we performed that badly in terms of infrastructure, economy, education, and so on and so forth. But for some reason, our people simply didn't come out to vote. Okay, of course, that's not to say that's the only reason. I mean, some of their people didn't come out to vote. So apathy has always been one of the reasons why parties lose elections. So how then, and if there's supposed to be any training and orientation, whose job is it? Party? As in national chairman, I'm talking about FEC, the functional executive committee of the party, or this is something that the presidency must take as a responsibility and undertake?
What I do know some government appointees do, which I think is very good, is that they have days that they have actually, for instance, Tuesday and Wednesday, you dedicate some 2 hours to meet your visitors.
Okay.
Yes, so
as a matter of policy.
Yes, as a matter of
every single day.
Yes.
Dedicate 2 hours for attending to anyone. It doesn't have to be a party.
Yes, I visited somebody last 2 weeks, and I was also encouraged that, look, a person says that you can come to my office between the hours of 2:30 and 12:30 and 2:30.
Okay.
That would have been the break time, the lunch break time.
Okay.
The person says that I will sacrifice those 2 hours and be in the office. If any party person wants to meet me for anything, he or she is most welcome. Okay. I think that is a very good way to because look, these are the very people that will what it takes to go and convince that old lady in the village to vote for the NDC or the MPP. Such a person gets an appointment and will treat an MP that way. You can imagine what he will do to an ordinary member. And so when you listen to Echo, is it Echo Vincent?
Echo Vincent Asifua.
Exactly.
Old Tafo.
Exactly.
MP.
It gives you a clear demonstration that yes, you are supposed to do the work for which you've been appointed to do, but you must also be able to maintain that relationship with the base of the party. In Ghana, and for that matter in Africa, human relations plays a very, very important role in how you govern. And so it's important in the rural areas when we are a member of a parliament, even in Accra here. The number of funerals you do, the number of adorings that you attend and support, the number of interventions you do in terms of paying school fees, even though that may not be your direct mandate and may not have any bearing on what you are supposed to do as a member of a parliament, doing those things would enhance your politics. And so it is very, very important. We will not take the people for granted. We appreciate that the victory that we got, probably it was not just the NDC members that voted for President Mahama and the NDC. We enjoyed support from the floating voters and probably some disgruntled MPP members. And we work hard to justify the confidence that the Ghanaian people have reposed in us. We will deliver, we will maintain good relationships, we will govern with humility, just like our leader himself. And so be rest assured. Those complaints, I'm sure appointees are listening. Either they are fair calls or complaints or not, we will take them on board.
I see.
And we will try to marry both the party and the government. Of course, it's the party that bears a government.
The government.
And if I look at the appointments that President Mahama has done so far, I think that party has been hugely rewarded, even though there have been instances where he has reached out to people within civil society, in academia. President Mahama is working a very.
You'll be surprised. There's some people who even have issues with that. But
yes.
Your coming is not necessary to talk about.
So when President Mahama says he's coming to reset,
yes,
it means that he's not coming to do what we've been used to.
Yes.
I say party has been heavily has been heavily taken care of. And I'm also saying that people within academia, I'm sure you are aware that some of the
Professor Jampo is an example.
I don't want to mention names.
Yes.
Some of them are not card-bearing members of the NDC.
Yes.
They will tell you what the truth is. President Mahama has extended some hands to them to come and help his administration. Once he thinks that you have the capability to do, he would extend a hand to you to come and support. And that's what President Mahama meant when he said he was going to reset, including our governance architecture.
Okay.
It's not just a party for boys alone, even when they can't do the job. Yes.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. But we need to issue a caveat. We're not talking about the people who, party foot soldiers who have created a whole industry from visiting, one office to the other.
Exactly.
For them, it's business.
It's business.
It's not. It isn't as though they genuinely need anything. For them, it's business.
Exactly.
And I know NS will have a bite on this.
Exactly.
Can they move from one office to the other, just collecting money? And when they go to your office and you don't open your doors to them, they will go on radio stations and be sending, and be calling radio stations, and some will send text and say this MP is not working, this MP is lazy. This
lost an election before, and when you lost an election before, and when you lose an election, you hear all manner of things about yourself. Sometimes you go and stand before the mirror to see if you are the real person they're talking about. And so, a lot of issues would come.
Yeah.
But let's see how we're able to work the balance between the two.
Just briefly, his party is in government, so I just thought I should run this by him. Your party is in the position, but I'm sure you have an experience to share as well. You want to have a bite on this? It's the same played out during your days as well, isn't it?
Thank you.
Even you as a party communicator. I can't catch your picky.
Thank you, my brother Moro, and greetings to my brother. I think we've never had the opportunity to meet before. So.
Yeah, this should be our first time meeting.
My special greetings.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
A big welcome. As for Moro and I, we are brothers, so sometimes
I've joined the brotherhood, and I'm sure you would accept me.
Oh, he's the boss.
He's the
chairman.
Okay, so the application should be JTOSA.
Okay. So this issue you are discussing is quite big.
It's a big issue.
I'll extend my greetings to the viewers also. There's one thing that most of our constituents seem to forget. When you raise the issue of people not picking calls, if today I'm a common floor member, so only few friends, and from time to time, one or two people will call you. The day your name is mentioned, you realize that
they resurrect
people that your schoolmate who you left primary school with
and never had any interaction.
You thought even he no longer exists on this earth will call you. So the group of people who have known you before, who had never thought of calling you, will begin to call you. You have your real constituents who will call you. Even family members who are far away will begin to call you. Your calls just explode. In addition to the work, the responsibility that they've given you, that responsibility is also going to bring its own calls and visits and all that. So you realize that most of the time, the number had just increased. So I always told family members, if you call me and you don't get me at this time, maybe because of reason A, B, C, D. And sometimes engaging matters. MP will have to go to Parliament, the new minister will have to go to his office, but by 4 a.m., people have queued in the house already, and he will have to attend to them and do so many things. And so this is a challenge. The MPs, I always respect that with them because the numbers are huge. If you have a 200,000 constituency and even 1/4 of them will want to reach you for one reason or the other, you will realize how many people you will have to deal with every single day. So they have a bigger pressure. And he says something which is very real. It happened to me. I have not been an MP before. But when the people invite you for an outdooring and all that, and you don't come, you are in trouble. I remember one executive asked somebody, when you were doing the indooring, did you invite me? And now you are putting so much. And the guy was so frustrated, he had to just say something and go. Yeah, but so everything increases. Those people who understand this are more careful when they are criticizing you than our brothers who feel that, Honorable, when he wanted the seat, I was with him every day on the road and all that. Now I call him. He doesn't care whether he's sitting on Metro TV this morning or he's in Parliament or, in fact, even in the washroom, you are in trouble. So that is there. But I have a problem, a big problem with the Asafua kind of example that he gave. Yeah. You are a chief executive, a member of your party who is an MP, whose constituents, as we are speaking, is on his neck. And he may be coming to you because you know that person is not coming to you to come and beg for money. He's not coming to you for anything. He might be coming to you genuinely for reasons for which you are sitting on that chair. He's coming to tell you, maybe I need this, and it is within your workplace or something, and for that matter, he as an MP is approaching you to actually remind you and maybe lobby you to do what you are sitting there to do anyway. Yeah. I don't see why an appointee should say the kind of things, as Afua said, he said to him. Yeah. I don't understand. Even if that appointee is coming to you for something you won't do, the approach should be different. But I have a good experience in this. Yeah. And I have always said it. The people who behave like that are they will normally not be people who are MPs and direct party people and hardcore party people. No, always want the people. They are the people you go and bring from outside.
Well, there are actually hardcore party people who behave same.
No. There will be very few. Then it will be character. Oh, look, the hardcore party people, let me tell you, any hardcore party person you give appointment to, hardcore, you give appointment to, will, even if he cannot solve the party people's problem, will accommodate them. Let me tell you, you may think somebody attacked somebody who is very close to me. And I went to him and said, oh, please, this is somebody who is very close to me. What he doesn't need anything from you. Just give the gentleman his peace. I am in Adenta. I do my politics in Adenta. I've been in Adenta politics, and anything I don't know about Adenta politics does not exist. This gentleman is in Adenta. He is an appointee, and I have never seen him in Adenta politics before. Never. And I keep saying, maybe if you say Kukurudu, he wouldn't know how to
respond.
So then the question arises, what you
But the guy knew somebody who knew somebody, so he has an appointment. Yes. So he doesn't understand what it takes to let an MP win election.
When you say a hardcore party member, what do you mean?
When I say hardcore, these are people who are actually on the ground for the party. It doesn't have to be at the top. But when you do party work on the ground, and you see and you engage the people, you meet people you will feel bad for. And these are the same people that every day, if you have a ball of kenke, and he calls you and you don't give him that half or break the half into two and give to him, you will have problems. Those people understand their party people and their frustrations.
So hold on. So your definition of a hardcore party person is not necessarily the person who's been in the party for Kotohoho, 100 years, 10 years, whatever. But it is the person who participates in the activities and programs of the party.
Yeah, who understands what the party does.
And the person's efforts is manifestly seen.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't even see some of them. Because you are going down, as low as polling station, and below the polling station executive, the constituents who are there. There are people there who might be doing NDC, MPP politics that you don't know. That me, I mentioned a name, but I mentioned that this so-and-so woman is sitting there, and she complained to me that she's been sitting here for long. So, yes, if they don't want, you cannot give her money, give her audience. Give her audience. I came back listening to the woman, and if you hear the things he said about this, my good friend, so me when I went in, I gave it to him properly. And I said the same thing. You the people that when we are walking in the bush, when we are going the house to house and things, you don't join. When you get position, this is how you behave. I gave it to him like that. But those people are in the minority. But because bad news always sells more, the little thing that individual did will virtually erode all the good things that the others have done.
Okay.
So they'll say, oh, MPs cry, if you call them, they don't pick. But like Honorable said, 12 midnight, 1, you are still on the call.
But there are people, and that's just my final question to you before we move on to the drama in Parliament. But some people say, oh, well, they're still hopeful because their thinking is that the government is still forming. People are yet to settle in. Yeah. So they're hoping that sooner rather than later, the appointees will be much more accessible, and they will engage a bit more. But there are some also saying that, look, they say, what's this popular saying? Agrobeso anifianopa.
Oh, okay, let me.
So, you didn't land?
Yeah, I thought you were asking a follow-up question.
That's fine.
But with these ones, you see, I keep telling our friends within the NDC that they have a lot of lessons to learn. And if they learn it, it will be in their interests. Because you mentioned something that a lot of our people, if the MPP people who voted in 2020 voted in 2024, the NDC will still have lost by over 300,000 votes.
Right.
Yeah. If just the people who voted in 2020 for MPP, if they themselves alone went to the polls without any increase in the numbers, they would have lost by over 300,000 votes. So
the point here is that?
The point here is exactly what we are discussing. Yeah. If you repeat the mistakes, we are here. The biggest mistake they are making now, and I always tell my friends within the NDC, I pray for you. Keep sacking the people. Yes, civil servants, people who have worked for you, keep sacking them. You haven't learned any lesson. Yeah, what we are discussing now happened sometime. They didn't even sack. The MPP never sacked people. I have been within the political environment for years, and we have never had this.
Okay.
But if we keep sacking them, you are doing something to this country. The political tolerance we have experienced. I worked in the government sector. I employed a number of NDC people. And today, if you go into those sectors, they are there working, that I employed. And somebody says that somebody made a statement that he didn't even follow up that statement with an action. That they say, Asafamafo made a statement, adverting or something.
Okay.
And every time people are referencing that.
Right.
And I went on my brother and my good friend, Eric J. There are certain things you can do to help yourself. Somebody has been working as a casual worker, as a contract worker, and I've seen that. I would have, if I am in his shoes, I would have rectified that one and take the credit. But they can decide to do it. It's a choice they have made.
No, there's a directive already, so you've got to look at it from that point.
It's a choice they made.
Myself and Ernest have agreed on some of the issues.
Yes.
Largely the attitude of appointees.
Yes.
And how you can bridge the gap between the party and government. I'm sure we agree with each other on that one. But he's just veered off into the issue of
termination of appointments.
Termination of appointments.
This matter keeps coming up,
and he needs to put that. He needs to put that in context. It's not as if the government of President Mahama is terminating appointments of everybody who was appointed under the MPP. Why? In 2017, appointments were made in this country under the MPP. 2017, yes. In 2018, same. 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. Even people who were recruited in 2024. Their appointments have not been terminated. The issue we have, which we have communicated clearly, has to do with appointments that were made after the elections. And Ernest would agree with me that it is not a good governance practice. We must learn to do the right things. In fact, if you knew those young people deserved some appointments, and that if you think that those vacancies existed, what prevented you from recruiting them? You don't wait until you lose an election. You are about to hand over, and you are committing the incoming regime to financial commitments.
But that's just one. That's just one aspect of it.
Look, so the directive has to do with people who were recruited post 7th December.
Yes.
That is the directive from the chief of staff.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. There could be some other
termination of appointments that we're beginning to see in some of the institutions, which is even pre.
So I'm saying that the directive of the chief of staff is the cutoff date is 7th of December. Okay.
Yes.
We are talking about, look, people are not just interested in working. They are interested in working and being paid for their work. If government says that our finances cannot be able to support their compensation, and so we are unable to proceed with them, artists in this country. Now I'm saying that, look, just last 2 weeks, the government had to pay coupons about 6.1 billion Ghana cedis.
Yes.
By the end of the second quarter to the third quarter, we'll pay about some 10 billion Ghana cedis as coupons again. You and I are aware that, look, we can't go into the international capital market to borrow. You are aware?
Yes.
Our revenue handlers are not doing too well. Government is committed to...
but the state of the economy is known.
Exactly. And so one will complain that we are unable to compensate them for the work that they were doing. And so we want to, at least for the meantime, terminate the appointment. As and when we have some financial space, we would engage them again.
But I get that, but I'm also saying, honorable.
For
those
and then when you talked about it never happened in 2017, and that it was only look. If I knew this topic was going to be discussed,
yes. In fact, it's not even our topic.
Come with dismissal letters.
No, it's not even our topic.
National service.
No, it's not our topic today.
DVLA.
It only came up.
Yaira.
Yes.
Yaira
yes.
Koku.
He was a victim.
Yaira Koku.
Yes, I know. I'm saying that
this gentleman had worked there for God knows how long.
Yes.
He took in fact, he virtually
let's
took Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia through the Ghana card.
Yes. Honorable.
He was dismissed.
Honorable. Let's
set
another. No, it's not part of our topic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not part of our topic. It was an aside.
An understanding of what is happening now. As for me, I just thought I was saying it in the an understanding of what is happening now will help.
You want to make it a topic.
So
it's not a topic.
I'm just taking 2 minutes on this.
Okay.
You see, there are people in Ghana. Yes. When I was first employed in the Ministry of Education, it took 3 years for me to be on the payroll because that was when it was in the 90s when the IPPD was introduced in Ghana here. There are people who have been employed and as close to a year, they are not on the payroll.
Yes.
So if the chief of staff's letter, the chief of staff's letter you referenced said that people who have been employed and those who are not on the payroll. But you know that the teachers you are talking about, the teachers, I'm coming, let me land. You see, when you were speaking, I decided to allow you time so that I'll have just 2 minutes. You see, what I'm saying is, if people are not on the payroll and that is their crime, take NAIP. I'm coming. Let me land. I will land on this. Just give me a minute to land. Moro, I will just land in 1 minute so that he can come in. Let me land in 1 minute. If you take NAIP, for example, somebody has been on contract for a number of years. Then the person, and the explanation they brought was the worst. I have handled these employment things, so I understand it. The explanation was that, one, the state which employed them has not been paying their SNIT. That's one of the explanations.
Yes.
And you, the employer, and me, the employee, who should pay the SNIT? And who should be held responsible for not deducting?
Let's find another.
There are so many other things that are.
Let's find my decision
and
have the proper conversation.
What I'm saying is,
it's actually not part of
what I'm saying is, it is a choice they have made. So
that's fine. Honorable, I beg you. So this is not one of our topics.
I agree with you, but just to remind Ernest that when he's referencing the letter of the chief of staff,
yes,
he did not mention anything about payroll.
That is true.
He says that people who were appointed after 7 December elections.
Yes. Is that what we are saying? I think you corrected that.
I've asked, but he said he's referring to the only.
I can show you the Ghana Water letter. It had nothing to do with 7 December.
Some of the appointment letters were backdated. So, for instance, if you were employed after December 7th and they backdate your letter to say June or August, the payroll would expose you. Because you would not have been on their payroll for that period.
Yes. Okay. Look at it. We would have a whole conversation about it some other time.
They were paid allowances, no salary.
Yeah. So
no tax, no SNIT.
So let's look at.
No
yes. That's what we'll find time. We'll find time and look at. We'll look at the issue. Honorable, something happened in Parliament yesterday, and it's beginning to get Ghanaians a bit worried about what's happening to our parliamentary democracy.
Okay.
And it's about the the clash and the conflict between the chairman of the Appointments Committee, that's Bernard Ahiafo, and the minority leader, who is also a co-chair, I believe, I hope I got that correctly, of the Appointments Committee.
He's a ranking member.
A ranking member of the Appointments Committee. That's what I was looking for. And this happened when the Deputy Attorney General designate, Justice Shremsai, appeared before it. So if you look at today's daily guide, it captures it. And Edu, Parliament House, reports that the minority in Parliament has rejected the nomination of Justice Shremsai as Deputy Attorney General, following what they described as unfair treatment during the vetting process. The minority leader and ranking member of the Appointments Committee, Alexander Fenyo-Marking, expressed his dissatisfaction with the proceedings, particularly with the conduct of the committee chairperson, Bernard Ahiafo. Mr. Fenyo-Marking protested yesterday the abrupt ending of the nominees' vetting session, accusing the chairperson of acting in a whimsical and capricious manner. He emphasized that his dissatisfaction with the ruling was not addressed fairly and said that Mr. Ahiafo's actions were rude and disruptive. We are protesting your conduct in abruptly ending the nominees' vetting on the grounds that I refuse to withdraw my dissatisfaction with your ruling. I described your actions as whimsical and capricious, and I also noted that you rudely made those expressions. We do not think that in the spirit of cooperation you should put up such a posture. Mr. Fenyo-Marking also pointed out what he saw as a pattern of unfair treatment throughout the proceedings. He knows that earlier in the day, the Wejagbawe MP, Ahmed Jerish Shaibu, had faced a similar unjust interruption. The minority leader highlighted how, during his own questioning, he was repeatedly disrupted, including the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dominic Akuritinga Ayene, and the Majority Chief Whip, Proxy Nelson Depamako. The Attorney General himself interrupted, yet you curiously claimed you never heard him. Then the Majority Chief Whip also disrupted the session, though not into the microphone. This was clearly aimed at obstructing the smooth vetting process. Eventually, you allowed him to ask a so-called follow-up question, Mr. Fenyo-Marking. So in response to what they perceived as a violation of procedural fairness, the minority caucus officially announced the rejection of Justice Shremsai's nomination as Deputy Attorney General. They stated that any approval of the nominee would be a decision solely for the majority. And the story goes on and on and on and on and on. And that they would appear before, they'll be part of the next vetting. And if the situation continues, they'll advise themselves. You're still watching Good Morning Ghana on a Metro television. I'm here with the Honorable Mohamed Abdulaziz, who is the former Member of Parliament for Miang, and also Mr. Enes Adade, who is the Communications Team Member of the MPP. So please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bread you call mattress anymore? Don't some sleepers then follow me. It is part of the mattress we did it from there. Yeah? That'll be the mattress where the dead for me. Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like ash foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
Fire pomudi ni agobi Ghana fu ni age efi say ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice
me dey go me jollof mu ni me still ahodoma e ma ne dance
Stanley the barbecue dey go on
sankofa natural spices and one you use 100% natural said the happen
adofo mamunye huge mistake sankofa natural spices the
FDA agi ejedi nkratu yatu
You the answer to my
Michelle say. Ah, fe. Ah.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Choco Toothpaste. Healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Choco Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi. Kel Choco Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
All right, welcome. Anyway, this is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. Very interesting conversation happening off air, but we can't share them with you for obvious reasons. And now this one, it's embargoed. Anyway, so, Honorable, you saw what happened in Parliament yesterday.
No. It's supposed to cement the appointment of ministers and deputy ministers. But it appears that what we are seeing today is that we are turning that platform into a political battle, and that is unfortunate. The vetting is supposed to test the nominee, his general competencies, his temperament, and how fit he or she is for the job. But that is not what we are seeing here. For example, what happened yesterday? How does a whole minority leader, a ranking member of the Appointments Committee, and I'm sure Afenyo Markin has been a member of Parliament for close to 2 decades, if not more, how on earth would you be requesting a nominee for the office of Deputy Attorney General, who was in suit, to get up and dance for you? How can you imagine this? I don't know whether.
But dancing is part of our culture.
But who does that?
Oh no, but you are very good dancer.
So I come to your studio this morning.
Yes.
Even though I'm wearing my smoke with my local hat.
Yes.
Then you ask me to dance because we haven't seen somebody do a particular dance. I should get up and dance. No, the full glare of the people.
Yeah, but I'm not vetting you.
No. Let us be serious.
Yes.
That when the minority leader made that request, for me, I thought it was just on the lighter side, just to create some humor.
Yes.
But it ended up that he meant it.
Yeah, he meant it, yes.
I mean, how? Who would have asked Afenyo Markin to get up and dance if he had appeared before the vetting committee? And so that's why I'm saying that we seem to have missed the plot. He can do much, much better than he's doing. You are a ranking member on a committee, and this is what you do, asking nominees who appeared before you, because just some few days ago, another nominee was asked to sing.
Yes.
Okay? Now you are asking somebody in suit to get up and dance Zia Agbaja. Because
it's called
Appointee or something.
Appointee or something. Yeah, it's a very interesting name. Yeah.
Can you imagine? And so Afenyo Markin should understand that the proceedings of the Appointments Committee is an extension of plenary. And I don't want to offend our people in the creative industry. That wasn't a cantata platform that you are asking someone to get up and dance, even when there was no music, the person is in suit, is appearing. What has dancing got to do with law, with what the man is being asked to go and do at the ministry?
Right.
Now, when you did that, what the chairman of the Appointments Committee did was to overrule your request, Simply that. Nothing beyond that. The man did not insult you. He did not use any invective on you. He did not insinuate anything. All that he did as a chairman, and he is empowered to do so. He overruled your request.
Right.
And you described his action as whimsical and capricious. And the chairman says that I take strong exceptions to those words that you used to describe me. Kindly withdraw. And it's all part of parliamentary procedures that when you make an offensive statement, the person to whom that statement is made can protest and ask that you withdraw. And that can subsequently be expunged from the records. That was all that the chairman did. And you said you won't do. That posturing is not fitting. It's unbecoming of a minority leader. And the chairman says, okay, if you are so arrogant to tell me in my face that I'm whimsical and capricious, and when I ask you to withdraw, you tell me you won't withdraw, I would exercise my powers as a chairman of the committee to stop you from asking further questions. Then you decide to abstain from the process. I would only commend the minority on the appointments committee because this time round, they did what the law required them to do. They didn't disrupt the sittings, they didn't cause trouble, they didn't destroy public property like they did at the other time. This time, I'm sure because of the public backlash, they did exactly what parliamentary procedure requires them to do. That when you are not satisfied with the process, you can walk out, which they did. But what was the crime of the nominee? That you were washing your hands of his vetting. Because the issue was between you, the ranking member, and the chairman.
Yeah.
Okay? Why do you vent your anger on the nominee? By saying that it should be an approval by just the majority. You are saying of what is the crime of the nominee who was before you? The minority were very, very unfair to the nominee. And worst of all, they extended their anger and boycott to all those who were to appear after him. So Honorable Alassane Suini and Honorable Ajaja, I don't know who followed. They stayed away from their veterans. What were their crimes? The minority is being petty. They are being stubborn. They are being unruly. That's not proper. And Afinyo Markin should go through the learning curve. You should go and watch the video clips of how previous ranking members on the committee behaved. This is not what we saw from Oseche Mensah. Bagby never did this as a minority leader. Che Mensah never did that. Aruna Idris never did that. Akifos never did that. And so he must learn and learn well that this is not what is required of him as a minority leader. Yes, he may be a fine lawyer, but his function, his role, the way he's conducting himself on the appointments committee leaves much to be desired. And the NDC could have just ignored them. I mean, this is just about 1/3 of the committee, and with or without them, the committee can proceed to vet and approve them. Even when we had a balance or a hanged parliament, they were still accorded the respect as a majority, even though it was a debatable issue. They still had the chance to vet and approve their ministers and deputy ministers. What makes him think that with his 1/3 members of parliament, the NDC will not be able to vet and approve the ministers? We just want to encourage cohesion and unity in parliament. It helps your democracy. Other than that, even if they decide to stay away from the vetting completely and don't even come to plenary, we'll have the numbers to approve those members that we want to approve. They shouldn't use that platform to do politics. You remember when some nominees appeared before them, they were asking some of them to retract and apologize to former President Akufo-Addo about the things that they said. And that's why the Minister for Communications was very frontal and said, look, you can't use this platform to clean the mess of President Akufo-Addo. And so, look, we are just done with the elections. The only time we'll have elections, all things being equal, will be in the next 4 years. So they should put the politics aside. Let us do what is required of us as a people. I'm sure that by early next week, government would have been fully constituted. All the deputy ministers would have been sworn in. And they will go and support their ministers to run the affairs of the various ministries to which they've been appointed to go and do. The posturing of Afenyo Markin is not helping. You must recognize that, yes, it's a ranking, but Honorable Ahiafo, the first deputy speaker of Parliament,
yes,
is the chairman of the committee. You must accord him that respect as a chairman. And when Afenyo does something wrong, that his attention is drawn to it, and you are humbly requested to withdraw, be a gentleman, withdraw, and let's proceed. You see, I'll withdraw some in his face. It's not like you went out to do a press conference. There are some words that you can use when you are doing your press conference outside. But to tell the man in his face that he's being whimsical and capricious, when all that he did was to ask you to overrule your request of a nominee to dance, and you describe him in such unpalatable words, and you expect him to take it lightly. That is not fair to the chairman of the appointments committee. Afenyo Markin still has a lot to learn. Of course, he may wants to appease his party's base, but you don't come to appointment committee just to excite the base of your party. That is not. What's the name of that park where you guys do your final rallies? Is it Manchagona? You can't turn Parliament into Manchagona to excite the base of your party. That's
but Honorable, what's wrong with the use of the word whimsical and capricious?
He was describing the chairman of the committee as being dictatorial. I'm not sure anybody the reason to tell me, my president, that I've been a dictator. That's what he did. To say he's whimsical and capricious.
Yes.
He's telling the man in his face that he's a dictator who wants to be associated with that. And the man says that I take strong exceptions to that. Please withdraw. Somebody being unpredictable.
Yeah, I can check it. It's not a problem at all. I can check.
Is tantamount to describing him as a dictator. And nobody wants to be associated with such a word or a phrase. And all that he did was to ask him, look, if you used a word in describing me, and I say I take strong exception to that.
Yes. I'm saying that's a separate argument.
Is that an offense?
No, that's a separate.
Why wouldn't have taken away from Afenyo if it's okay, a chairman?
Yes.
I withdraw. Let's make progress.
Yes.
I mean, these things could have been avoided. These things could have been avoided. I don't know. I mean, that phrase is not complimentary. It is derogatory. It shows disrespect.
I just checked the Webster dictionary on what whimsical and capricious means. It says resulting from or characterized by whim or caprice, especially lightly fanciful, subject to erratic behavior or unpredictable change. Exactly. That's what the Webster dictionary tells us.
Subject to erratic.
Yeah, erratic.
Subject to erratic.
Yes, that's why I talked about unpredictable.
As simple as
you're unpredictable. So it's not. Of course, I mean, for instance, Annie has just drawn my attention to context, which is also
context is important.
Good. But you see, the thing about it
context
is
important.
Understand.
So to tell him that he wasn't exercising his discretion properly.
Well, you see, so
it's also tantamount to tell him that he doesn't exercise his discretion properly, and that he's being unfair to you, and that he's being dictatorial.
No, that's one way.
And that he's being dictatorial. Do you agree or not?
As for being dictatorial, that has nothing to do with being whimsical and capricious.
You are being whimsical and capricious.
Nah. It's just for me. For me, the context here.
But do you agree? But do you agree with me that it's not complimentary, and that it carries a negative connotation? Do you agree with me?
That's what I'm saying. Depends.
It depends.
Yes. If you tell me I'm unpredictable, I may not take offense.
Context is important.
Well,
they may be synonymous to each other, but the context within which they are used gives them a unique meaning and input. So if you tell him that the man has ruled it out, he's being whimsical and capricious.
No, I'm saying that maybe better than here for clarity's sake. Could have said Honorable member, what do you mean by being whimsical and capricious? Because
I'm not sure there are two meanings to that phrase. That
no, you just interpreted it to mean that it means he's being dictatorial.
I mean,
so that's what I'm saying, that to bring clarity.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That context is important, because you ask somebody to do something. You ask a nominee to dance, and the man says that I overrule your request.
Yes.
And because he says he has overruled your request, he says he's being whimsical and capricious. Context is important. And for me, what I like about what I have today was to be very open and candid about it. That, Oranking, I take exception to that. Be a gentleman and withdraw, and let's make a progress.
For me,
I don't see anything wrong with that.
For me, honorable.
Now,
it's not what the generally accepted definition of meaning of whimsical and capricious is. For me, it's about how the chairman of the appointment committee feels about it. And for me, that's more important, because it's language.
It's language.
If the chairman of the appointment committee says, I take strong exception to it, he should have just apologized. That I agree with you.
Exactly.
So let's move on. Ernest, what do you also make of it? You saw it. Did you see it, or you read it? Honorable Ernest, so that's the dance.
Yes. So, like I was saying earlier.
But what it means is that Justice Fry couldn't have done it because he didn't have a hatchet. The man who was dancing there, he had a hatchet.
But he was not traditionally dressed
for the occasion.
But for me, that's what I said. You mentioned context somewhere along the line. And
there was honorable who kept, yes, I brought it up to you.
In the whole conversation, I didn't see why people always question the line of questioning of the leader, the minority.
The ranking member.
Do you know why? You see, the Constitution says Parliament must give prior approval to the ministers. The President, in consultation with the Council of State, appoints, and then Parliament approves. Anybody you are approving, you sincerely will want to approve the right person or the best person for the job. You shouldn't forget that this is a job you are giving to the person. So the approval process is more like an interview for the job. So if I went for a job interview and I'm in suit and they ask me, where do you come from? I said, I'm an Anglo man. And then they say, what is your culture? And then give us a show of your cultural dance or something. If I can, I would have done something. But you brought the context. This is a Deputy Attorney General who is going to be approved to go and do more law. I would have done it to create the something like, oh yes, I would have done it. Let me tell you why. And this thing, we have done it over and over again. You could see people do these things. The whole president could stand and make certain statements and crack a joke and everybody is happy about it. So I wouldn't have had a problem. I said if I were the one. If the person had a problem, his response to Afenyo, I would have straight away said that if I even come for a job interview from you and you ask me something, I can tell you straight that this one, I find it a little too much for me. I am not properly positioned and properly attired. And even though it's my culture, I will want to, and I want to be allowed to. And you will seek it from the chairman. If he sought it from the chairman and chairman granted it, the situation would have been different from Where the whimsical and capricious statement, I think, would have come from is when the chairman abruptly said, nominee, he said, nominee, don't do also. I can't quote him verbatim, but in a nutshell, he's not supposed to do it. And whenever vetting is going on, they look at your CV, right? Then there are petty things like dot the I's and cross the T's and all that. You left this one out and the date here is wrong and all that. They are all to lead to something. Then all of a sudden you will see that they will switch into something like character. So they will ask questions about where you are coming from, or even if you don't take care and you have slept before, the girls you have dated before may come in. It's character. I have had a deputy minister's vetting where it was put on hold because somebody brought a memoir. Somebody brought they have a name for it. He brought a memoir that gentleman had done something in the past and Parliament must go in before the gentleman is approved. I don't want to mention it, but as I said it, you might have known it.
A memoranda.
They bring all these memoranda and things. So all I am trying to say is that he may have some information. He may have some information. They receive things. Both ends, they receive things.
Who may have?
I said the leader, the minority leader may have some information. That's why I said, no. Maybe. I don't know. Let's not conjecture. I'm trying to run away from the conjecture. But if we want to go into that realm, maybe he has something that he is trying to drive.
But does that something
unless anybody
the person's ability to do the job? But
the questions they are asking in there is not all those questions that has anything to do with your ability to do the job.
So those are the things that the public have a problem
with. At a point in time, they always veer into things like character, what you have done, where you have lived. I heard somebody being asked, I think Suhini was asked where he lives, and then he said, you are my brother, so you know where I live. You understand? If the chairman came in and said that, oh, don't answer that, it's a security question.
It wasn't a question.
No, I'm coming. No, it was the Suhini one I'm referencing.
Yes.
It's a question that he should tell the people where his CV did not have his presidential address, so he should put it there. He said he answered it in a very nice way. You are my brother, you know where I stay. So, but then Suhini went ahead and answered the question. You see, if the gentleman said that, oh, but from where we sit now, Akui is a different kind of dance. I need A, B, C, D, and for that matter, I am not in the. I'm learning. I'm not in the right position here, in the right attire, like you yourself said, and for that matter, we will leave this one for another day. Let me tell you, we would have solved the whole hula baloo. So all I am saying is that the chairman, what brought the fight that you referenced, that you try to skew it towards some people. It takes two to tangle. So if there is a battle and tables were raised and things, I don't believe one person went and carried the table. So there was a battle that all the parliamentarians said it wasn't in the right taste. They themselves accepted it. We all bashed them for it. And everything had gone to sleep. But if they are vetting somebody and they ask the question and the chairman is fair, there will be no problem. And I am saying that somebody like me would have done it funnily. People who know me know how I behave. I will do it and everybody will laugh. Even if I dance it wrongly, everybody will laugh and it will be it. There are people who will take exception to that. He cannot do it. Because it's not everybody who is jovial, who is an extrovert, who can do certain things. So those ones are there. But the gentleman cannot do it. Let the gentleman tell him, no, I can't do it.
I get that. For me, it's not about whether he can do it or cannot do it. But shouldn't we be taking ourselves more seriously than we're doing?
Do you want to say that?
And you see, look at the times in which we're living in.
Yeah.
Look at the public perception about the work of Parliament. Look at the public perception about the work of Parliament. You listen to radio, you go on social media, they are not living in the best of times. Don't you think that Parliament has a responsibility to use occasions like this to sort of fix and repair its image?
I want to take you back.
You don't think so?
Let me take you back. When Namumu was being vetted, I was watching. Then I heard the minority leader asked a question, and the chairman intervened. The minority leader's response painted a picture. He said, we are all trying to help her. We are all trying to assist her. If you want me to stop, okay, I will stop. It sent a different message to me, and the message it sent to me is that maybe he is asking those questions, leading questions for the minister nominee to answer and clear something. Because he asked about some land and something. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe somebody would have sent some memorandum that, oh, this lady has also bought, I'm saying, the government land or something. So he asked, where do you stay? Where is your house? To me, it would be very irrelevant at that time. But the answer he gave the chairman, and the chairman allowed him to go ahead, is, if you want me to, we all want to help her. If you want me to stop, I will stop. So it painted a picture. That's all I am saying. That maybe he has information on something he was trying to drive at. And they used some of these peripheral questions to drive at it. Maybe if it was Moro, myself, and Honorable sitting down there, our line of questioning will be different. But as we sit here that we don't have what he has, I will only take the middle line and say that the gentleman could have done what Honorable Suhini did. That's my opinion. It can be different. But what Honorable, even there was a question they asked, and Chairman told Honorable Suhini, don't answer. And he said, I am answering it because, and he gave a reason why he wanted to answer it, so that it helps. Let's say somebody is sitting down, the Honorable comes to sit before the committee, and the committee says, for example, you worked in an agency, and the agency said you have embezzled funds, let's say. And then you say, oh, but that could be person. Don't answer. He didn't embezzle any funds. So if you gave him an opportunity to say it himself, it clears the air. So all I'm saying is, don't let us sit behind and think that some of the questioning are so useless. Some of the questionings are so useless. Let's sit behind and try to put ourselves in their shoes. I don't know why he asked the question. Maybe I wouldn't ask. But let us give them the opportunity to do their work.
Ernest, you are a fine gentleman. Yeah. There are issues that are debatable, and there are issues that are tried and settled. Okay? We may have our differences on whether Honorable Ayafu should have taken exception to the use of the phrase whimsical and capricious. So we have our differences based on context and our understanding, contextual understanding of the use of the phrase. But some issues are very settled, and you shouldn't try to defend the untenable. How does a ranking member of the committee asking a nominee, especially to the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, not creative arts, even that one, I'm not even just finding it, ask him to get up and dance, and you want to defend this? They are all related. It has got nothing to do with governance, with his competence, with his character, with his temperament. And so just admit that that question was that request of him to dance was irrelevant, and that it is the foundation that caused the trouble.
You see, what I said is not what he said. No, what I said is the question. He may have something, but what I am saying here, he telling him to get up and dance, was
wrong.
Maybe for him, he has a backing. I wouldn't have asked that question. But even if he asked, the gentleman could have told him that I am not in the position to dance. But what brought the confusion is not... What brought the confusion is not the asking. What brought the confusion was the fact that the chairman overruled, and then Afenyo used the whimsical and capricious. Whimsical and capricious, like you explained, simply means that he was being funny.
Why are you not bold enough to say, for instance, that request of him was unnecessary and irrelevant, but you are quick to condemn the chairman of the committee?
I didn't condemn him. I said he could have done some. You have options. So the option is allow him to say what he wants to say. Let's go.
Why is it so difficult for you?
The confusion is not on the asking him. The confusion is on the chairman's attitude.
Why is it so difficult
for you? He said
the
chairman. So he attacked the chairman, or he spoke to the chairman, not to the issue.
Are you aware that the chairman has the authority to overrule a question?
And he's done several times.
Are you aware he's got that authority?
Yeah. Yesterday he did.
And do you agree with me he exercised that authority?
I just gave you an example.
Do you agree he exercised that authority?
Who, after chairman overruled, he answered.
I'm saying.
So if you say dance, and I say I cannot dance.
So for instance,
this whole conversation
when he overruled the request, if the nominee had said that, look, Mr. Chairman, I want to dance.
It's all
but this didn't happen. I'm just asking you. You are aware that the chairman had the authority to do what he did?
Yes.
And that he did that?
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And that Afenyomakin refused to withdraw.
Afenyomakin described him as being whimsical and capricious.
And he said,
don't go to the dance. Go to the action of the chairman. That is what he criticized. He attacked the action of the chairman, not asking the guy to dance. Afenyomakin is not insisting the gentleman should.
Okay.
I said, guy, sorry, forgive me. But he's not insisting the gentleman should.
Afenyomakin described him as
he said the chairman had stepped in.
Because he overruled him. Please, because he overruled him. He overruled him because he requested a nominee to dance. So there's a chain of events. We are quick to condemn just the middle part of that entire chain. And yet you don't want to comment on the foundation of the problem. How would a ranking member, a lawyer, a member of parliament, asking a nominee, a deputy minister for justice and attorney general to get up and dance? It's just like asking to dance on the plenary.
Let's go back.
It doesn't make sense.
Let's go back.
So
if he had
what is your difficulty?
No, I'm coming back
what
to
is
the
your
question
difficulty?
He had the power to overrule. He overruled.
Yes.
For me, it's done. Right?
Okay.
He had the power to overrule. He overruled.
Which he exercised, yes.
Finished.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
The nominee, the minority leader described his action in a way he wasn't happy with. And then that is what brought the confusion. What I am saying is, could it be? You see, go back and read whimsical, capricious, and Afenyo went ahead to say he is being rude to him.
Yes.
They have been doing vetting all this while. So many issues have
He's
come.
describing somebody as being rude on
He
national
he has
television.
been rude to him.
Oh, describing somebody as rude.
If Moro on this show is not happy with
parliament
me,
on national television, you describe the person as rude, whimsical and capricious. And the person said
he said he's been rude towards him. He's not
he said he's not saying his character or his. He said he's been rude to me.
But
because he also feels.
Do you agree that is not a positive way to say somebody is being rude at you?
Well, that's what Honorable. I keep saying that it depends on how you see it. This is how the guy feels. This is how Afenyomakin feels about the attitude or posture.
Same way. Honorable Ahianfo also felt that, look, I take strong exception to this. Kindly withdraw and let's make progress.
I don't
and that's a problem.
particularly find anything wrong if it says you've been rude towards him.
And the issue is that, like I said earlier, if your problem was with the chairman of the committee, how does the nominee become the victim of the entire issue?
But it's a valid question. It's just been caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, that's a good statement.
And how does that also
affect? It's a very valid point.
How does that also affect subsequent nominees who were to appear before the committee? How?
Yeah.
No, tempers went up to forestall. For me,
tempers went up, and so you.
To forestall what happened, and we all
with the same temper,
everybody bashed them. To forestall that, I walk out peacefully.
With the same temper, stop him from taking his salary at the end of the month.
Let me tell you.
If you say tempers went high, would that same temper stop him from taking his monthly salary? We have to perform a duty.
Moro, this one is. He has been an MP before.
Yes.
So this one is when you walk out of parliament, does it affect your salary?
No,
when you use any of the tools available to parliamentarians,
issue of temper,
you have the power to use all the tools available to you. That one is accepted. So if you walk, let me answer him. When you walk out of parliament for whatever reason you disagree, when you disagree, you have to.
It's a right you can.
So you walk out. You do
right.
So does it affect your salary?
But
what I'm saying is, when tempers rose the last time, there was a problem. So tempers are now rising. Somebody said you are whimsical. He said withdraw. And if you listened to the tape, the tone of the chairman started going up. To forestall the breaking of tables again, the gentleman decided
to now it's not about asking him to withdraw, it's about the tone now.
No, the second, before he said rude, before he used the word rude, it was his tone that he described as you are being rude to me. You can't shout on the minority leader. So all I'm saying is, the issue has happened.
Sometimes you people behave as if
but did you listen to the
we are second class Ghanaians. You describe somebody as whimsical and capricious and rude,
whimsical
and that is not a problem.
Not evil.
And yet you have a problem
bad.
with the tone
okay,
of
let's
that
read about Moro.
No.
Listen to how
Moro,
whimsical
my
and
problem is
capricious.
You see, you have a problem with the tonation, and yet you don't see anything wrong with whimsical, capricious, and rude.
But he
I can't
didn't
believe
insult
this.
him. He
I
said
can't
you are
believe
being
this.
whimsical and capricious.
Did he insult him when he asked him to withdraw? But you have problem with the tone.
What I'm saying, it shouldn't look like we are defending them. They are parliamentarians.
Condemn that.
They are doing. They are vetting. Everybody came in there.
If on
with
this
his
table, if on this table you make a valid point, I may politically want to disagree with you, but when it's so glaring like this one is very glaring, I'll concede to you. I will make progress.
We are both saying
we'll make progress.
Things, except that I am saying.
Except that you are failing to condemn or to describe as irrelevant and unnecessary the request of the nominee to dance.
Oh, that one. That's what I said. Suhini answered. I've given you yesterday. What happened? Suhini answered the question that the chairman said don't answer.
It's not about the intervention of the chairman.
No, I am telling you what I'm saying.
It's about the request.
Moro, what I'm saying is, it's the person. The person. Because look at Suhini. When the question was put to him and chairman said don't ask, he has a reason why he will answer. So he did. And then when the chairman queried, he gave a reason why.
This is wrong.
When the chairman queried,
I didn't say that.
He gave that reason.
That's what he said. Let him correct it.
Okay, yes, we'll sort it out. Yeah, you mean the you call it
he says
the headline?
He should have done the dance.
No, we'll sort it out. We'll sort it out.
Nobody said he should have had.
Should have done the acquaintance.
I said if it were me,
you said you
I would do it and it will create fun.
So that statement has been attributed to me.
Yes.
And I am not the author of it.
So I would have created fun with it. Everybody would laugh and we will go on fine.
Yeah.
It is
Justice.
It is the kind of person who is an extrovert. The kind of person who will take things like
serious business.
When everybody
he wasn't there to make a joke.
So the gentleman who went there, he is not ready to do that.
So
I will tell you, I cannot do it.
Do you think he would have asked some judge to dance? You think Afinyo Marcus would have had the balls?
would have told you I can't do it.
I'm saying, do you think Afinyo Marcus would have had the balls?
He would have asked
to ask some judge
easily.
or Okujeto Ablakwa to dance?
Do you think he wouldn't have asked?
What time to intimidate him? Because the gentleman is not a member of parliament.
Yeah.
He's not been in the front line of politics. And so you don't use that platform to intimidate him. You think Afinyo Marcus can look at me at the vetting and ask me to dance?
Do you think that non-parliamentarians can they are intimidated? Only few. I see those things in only few.
That's unnecessary.
If you are the kind of person, look, Moro, we are always in the public eye. Okay. Today we are sitting here, and people see you are always addressing the public. When you meet crowd like that, you don't panic.
Let's use the next.
These statements.
Yes,
we'll
take it off. We'll take it off.
I'm very particular about it.
I believe you
because you're right. It's
we are both. We all agree around.
Who said we have dance?
It will be.
Yeah, I said I personally.
It will be rectified.
To create
rectified.
And we will laugh if I dance it wrong. Everybody will laugh and we'll go on.
Let's move to. We have 5 minutes to end the show. But we want to use the next 5 minutes to look at just briefly.
We've been dragging this matter for long.
Yes. It's an interesting issue because Parliament. Yes, I mean the vetting exercise is an extremely important exercise, and so when something comes up that we think is unacceptable or it's not right or appropriate, we have to bring it up. Anyway, so tomorrow, the president would say tomorrow today. At exactly 10 o'clock, the president will be delivering the State of the Nation address in Parliament, in line with Article 67 of the 1992 Constitution, or pursuant to Article 67 of the 1992 Constitution. I'm told that Parliament is actually getting ready for this. So whilst we're waiting to pick the free from Parliament, let me just briefly pick your thoughts, maybe a minute or two each. So generally, what are your expectations as the president delivers the State of the Nation address? Honorable.
Like we said, that will be in fulfillment of Article 67 of the Constitution. President Mahama would appear before Parliament to give a State of the Nation address. He will speak to critical issues. I would not be able to walk into the head of the president, but I would imagine that he would speak to the issues of national economy, security, education, agri, and almost all the essential sectors of our national lives. President Mahama would speak to those issues. This event or ceremony is not new to President Mahama because in time past, he has had the privilege to address that same August House as president during his first tenure as president of the Republic. And so, even though it will be a maiden one for him as he's appearing before them, President Mahama himself was a member of parliament, so that environment is not new to him. And President Mahama is an excellent communicator. He understands the issues very, very well. He's one politician when he's speaking on national issues. When he's speaking on issues of energy, you might think he's the energy minister. He's speaking on finance and economy. I mean, he's well abreast with national issues. And so I expect President Mahama to speak to all those issues. After he's done, the Speaker would thank him on behalf of the members of Parliament. Some time would be given to both the minority and the majority leaders to pass some brief comments about it before they would schedule some other time to debate the State of the Nation address and then later send a communique from a parliament back to the presidency. But of course, I mean, it's been a normal practice. One can predict what will be the remarks of the minority leader. You'd want to take it as a platform to extol what they achieved and to throw jabs at the NDC and President Mahama. But President Mahama is an astute politician. He's been through the mill well. He understands this very well. Yeah. So we are prepared for it. We think that President Mahama is one politician who has been acknowledged to be a sincere leader. He is not engaged in excessive partisanship. He will tell you what the reality is. And sometimes our friends don't want to hear when we want to give a clear picture of what we came to inherit. But President Mahama will let Ghanaians know the state of the economy, the state of the education, agric, and whatever that we have come to meet. And we'll use it as a platform to rally a support from the Ghanaian people to be able to steer the affairs of this country and do that well. So I'm sure that in the next few hours, President Mahama will be in Parliament. I would watch it on television. I wish I could go to Parliament to watch it from the gallery, but some assignments would not allow me. So it will be a very fine opportunity. And I can imagine you can let your cameraman take notice. The euphoria, the long queue of vehicles will not be seen at Parliament House today. Some few days ago, I was going home, and I used the Gifford Road, going to Chain Homes. President Mahama was going home, I'm sure from the office or wherever he was going. You won't believe it. 3 saloon cars and 1 Land Cruiser Prado. And I thought to myself, wow. So when President Mahama talks about cutting expenditure, even in his own office, and says that he wants to take the lead in tightening his belt before asking the Ghanaian public to tighten their belts, this is what he means. 3 saloon cars. And yes, I was excited that this man really means business. But upon second thought, I was looking at the implications on security too. Just 3 saloon cars. The one without the number plate with the crest was in the middle. There was 1 saloon car in front and 1 behind. And it was amazing. This is leadership. And so you will see the long queues of Land Cruisers and what have you. See what it's doing about our Independence Day celebration. You know, giving us account of how some 15 million Ghana cedis was used in 2023, how they want to scale down everything. So, austere measures will start from the presidency. It will start with himself. And I'm so happy that there's a new era of liberation. There's a new era of good governance where everybody would be on board. So these are the issues that I expect President Mahama to speak to.
All right.
We'll do exactly that.
Ernest.
Thank you.
Few minutes.
With this Sona, as for me, I have a huge expectation.
Okay.
Big. Like also from lots of the people of Ghana. We just came out of the campaigning. The message I just sent to you, if you remember, on your Saturday show then, we discussed gold. That day, people sent messages and were giving it to me properly. Somebody even said that I should never be brought onto the show.
Okay, wow.
But we were just discussing how important the export of gold is to this country and what will happen to us if, as at that time, we just said there is a total, straightforward ban on gold. And that day, there were people, because that time, Galamsey was the issue.
Before the elections?
Yes, before the election.
Okay.
And if you looked at what is happening now, you realize that it is something we should look at. And I am very interested in, I think Sami went to PMMC, and the people who are in the sector. What we need to do is to kill the snake that is eating us, that is biting and killing us, which is the illegal mining and the rampant mining of gold everywhere, even in people's bedrooms and things. It is not to destroy the sector. And I'm interested in that. When I saw the publication, I was excited because it comes to vindicate some of the things that we were saying then that people didn't understand. So I'm expecting one thing from His Excellency the President. Galamsey must.
Which is what's the current state of?
I want to hear what is happening because they are still struggling with it. Let's know what is happening. That is the snake we must kill. This country must go on. Then number two, I'm looking strongly at free SHS. It's a huge area of interest. Huge. So we want to know the current state, because we believe that, I strongly believe, whoever is saying the rich should pay and the poor should be paid for, that the state should pay for the poor and the rich should pay on their own, is joking. He doesn't understand the Ghanaian environment. In Ghana, the scholarships are enjoyed by the rich. Cocoa scholarship by the rich. I am telling you this on authority.
Shouldn't we be discouraging that?
Scholarships for needy but brilliant students are enjoyed by the rich.
Shouldn't we be discouraging that?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's my point. So I thought that opening the thing and saying that maybe government is paying for this and then parents are paying for this, whatever it is should be clear. But saying that we are cancelling that, tomorrow, there's an ongoing education forum.
Yes,
that's why I'm
surprised if the president makes.
So I want to see it in the SONA. I want to hear, this is the state of the nation. Somebody is paying. We said the fish was too small.
No, my point is that he may acknowledge the challenges with free SHS or acknowledge some of the successes we've had with free SHS. But I doubt if going forward he would state it, because that would be preempting the work of the stakeholders.
So what I'm saying is, this is the state of the nation address.
Yes.
I want to hear things that were raised during the campaign and how he intends to approach them. If he says this is what it is and I'm waiting for the committee, I want people to speak. So those things, he made so many promises within the economy itself. I want to see how they are approaching the economy whilst we wait for the budget to come. Even though, like you are saying, the first budget is about to come, the one we are using now is the one in appropriation in what they call it,
estimation.
So yes, these are the estimates they are using now. We want to see how they are reducing they are going to reduce the national debt and all that. But the things that they raised, I want to see e-levy. It should talk about it, because I want to see it in the budget. Those things that he raised, that he said, I am coming to do them better. We want to see it. I want to hear something on them in the
school. Just so let me on the Free High School.
Our time is up, actually.
Nowhere have we ever indicated that we're going to cancel Free High School.
No, I am saying
what we are committed to is reviewing the policy. We think that it must be targeted. It is a social intervention, and every social intervention that is to succeed should be targeted at the poor. We don't do social intervention for the rich.
You said it time and again.
So people see free SHS. This is a different conversation. He's opening another box. People see it as a social intervention, but people see it as a developmental drive and investment.
It's a social
I see it. You see, okay, let's continue off. Let's continue off.
Scholarships.
Go ahead and sign off whilst we do.
So let me say a happy birthday to you, Khidir Surakatu Umar. Today, 27th of February. You are the CEO. So actually today is your birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Khidir Surakatu Umar. Today you're celebrating your birthday. You're the CEO of the Voice of Green Executive Consultant, Adenta Survival School Complex. Happy birthday, Khidir Surakatu. And let me also say this, that Umar Farouk from Nottingham in the UK says that to the MPP communicator, he says, must we always defend the indefensible of the MPP? MPP, you must urgently reassess your leadership and supporting everything and its support. Okay, so it says the MPP must urgently reassess its leadership and its support is dwindling from 38% to projected 28% to the 2028 elections. No, it's not 38%. Please stop this. Prioritizing first-term candidates while sidelining experienced parliamentarians is creating a negative perception, weakening the party's image. Always a great show. Thank you very much, Umar. McLean says President Mahama is set to deliver his State of the Nation address today, an important opportunity for him to address the nation on the current state of affairs. It is crucial to note that we as citizens are not anticipating any weird excuses or the usual blaming from the president. Before making promises to the people, President Mahama was well aware of the prevailing issues in the country. Therefore, it's expected that he would outline concrete steps towards fixing these issues and fulfilling his commitments to the citizens. The time for excuses and finger pointing is over, and President Mahama must take full responsibility for the current state of the nation and work diligently to address them. The president needs to deliver on the promises he made and fix the problems facing the nation. That's coming from McLean in Sefiwi also. And this one here, okay. Some people are insisting on this 38% thing. Okay, we may have to cross-check again. And this one, Hassan says that, please tell Ernest that answering questions and demonstrating an act of dance are two different things. Hassan, thank you very much for that. And let me end with Musa Abattoir. The man has been ringing my phone, so I'm even tired. Okay, so Hamza from Pig Farm says, good morning, brother. In my humble opinion, the misbehavior and arrogant posture of Afenyo Markins is becoming one too many, and the earlier he's called to whether the better. Afenyo Markins wants to settle personal and political scores, which is totally unacceptable. The chairman of the vetting committee has every right to overrule any question which he finds unparliamentary. And according to Afenyo Markins, the vetting of Suhini and the other two who are yet to be vetted are all rejected by the minority group. For God's sake, who does that? This is not. It doesn't make sense. Okay. And also Musa from Abattoir. Sorry, I couldn't read your message. My name is Audu Moro. Thank you very much for watching another edition of Good Morning. And I want to say a big thanks to Mohammed Abdulaziz, who's a former member of parliament for the Miang constituency, and also Enes Adade, who is the communications team member of the NPP. Thank you very much once again. Have a good day. But please don't go anywhere, because we have a comprehensive and absolutely mind-blowing coverage of the State of the Nation address. Annie and her team will lead that, so please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Celebrating hard work, commitment, dedication, and